Miller Coors pulling a beer which was geared towards millennials. The beer was called Two Hat, okay? Two Hat, I think that's what it was.
Two Hats.
It was, they took it away after just 6 months, 6 months after it was debuted. People weren't buying it, apparently. John, look who's here. Welcome back, John. Jon Taffer, bar rescue guy. Well, don't millennials drink beer any longer?
No. Not as much as they used to, Stuart, which is interesting. Millennial beer sales are way down, and this product was created for 21 to 24-year-olds. They never bought it in the first place. They rejected it right from day one, so it never achieved any sales. It was pulled from the marketplace. But the beer problems run deeper. We have what we call our core brands, which are Coors, Miller Lite, Bud Light. All of the distributors across the country now carry all the craft brands. So the core brands aren't important anymore. So what's happening to the beer companies is they're losing all their craft beer sales, but the core brands are getting destroyed.
They're destroyed?
The sales are being reduced, so light beers like Coors Light, Miller Lite, Bud Light, they're consumed later in the evening after people have one or two craft beers. Then they move into a light beer direction.
Yeah.
So rather than drinking 3 light beers in a night, you might have 1 at the end of the night. So not only is the ordering occasions lower, less beers being ordered, but they're ordering less of those core brands. It's a real dilemma.
Are they drinking more wine instead?
More wine and a lot more spirits.
Ooh.
Spirits are hot now. Craft spirits are hot now.
Flavored spirits? What's a craft spirit?
Craft spirit is there are distilleries opening all over the country right now. I own one in northern Nevada.
Oh, do you?
I do. I own a whiskey distillery in northern Nevada.
He's talking his book
named Frey Ranch. But right now there's whiskey distilleries, vodka distilleries, just like craft beer distilleries. And states are changing their laws
to allow it.
To allow it.
Okay, okay. Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, Jon.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You take your life in your hands when you do that, but not less. Okay, so you've got your craft liquor distillery.
Yes.
What's the price of your product? I take it it's more than the cost of a regular liquor.
Yes.
Right? How much?
It's about 30% higher.
You
30.
30%?
Just put the word craft
is that
in
because
front
of your yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Is it because of your name, Jon Taffer, or is it because of the word craft?
It's not the word craft. It's the fact that it's ground to glass. The grain is grown on property. It's distilled on property. It's bottled on property. There is a craft nature. Craft isn't just a word. It's a practice. Yeah.
Put the word
estate distilling is another practice.
People are prepared to pay 30% more for alcohol over and above regular liquor just because it's ground to glass or whatever you call it.
Well, because it has a premium nature to it. It adds to their relevancy.
They're snobs.
But when you look at millennials, relevancy is critical. They want to look cool. They want to post it. They want that picture. They want those likes.
Wait.
Put the word artisanal in front of it.
Oh,
you get
artisanal,
50%.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
This young man, Cabot Phillips, I don't know whether you're a millennial or not.
I'm a millennial.
Yes.
Would you pay 30% extra for a craft liquor?
I don't know if I would be paying that much more. I do know when it comes to the beer, though, I think a lot of people, I talk to my friends, are all like, yeah, you don't want to feel so bloated and gross throughout the night when it comes to drinking beer. I think that plays a role. Also, I think a lot of millennials are maybe more health conscious now, and people view beer as a heavy-feeling thing for them. I think that plays a role as well.
Number of factors.
All right.
Also, it's a less ego-filled product. It's not as expensive as a fine spirit. So there's a lot of ego in this, for sure.
Snobs.
Okay. We've clearly livened up the debate in the middle of summer on an otherwise slow news day, so I'm going to chuck something else out there.
Okay.
Did you see my editorial at the top of the hour where I'm saying that there are too many animals on planes? I don't like it. We need government regulation. I know you fly a private jet, but what do you make of this stuff?
I haven't been in an airport in a while, I must say. But last time I did, I must say, I thought that the dogs were better behaved than some of the humans who were on the plane. No, I think there's an inconsideration in this. And what's happening is people are really saying, screw you to the person next to them.
What if you're allergic?
To facilitate a selfish objective that makes them feel good. And years ago, there was a courtesy. Right? You know, we didn't move our arm across that armrest.
Long gone.
All of those courtesies are gone, Stuart. It's become much more of a free-for-all. We fight for the armrest. We fight for those inches. It isn't courteous. It's a completely different environment. And I think this is indicative of me saying, I care about me, and I really don't care whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's that attitude.
well, let's
that's
get to
scary.
it.
Yeah,
How about
no, it
government regulation that really restricts seriously?
No horses on planes.
Yeah, the number of pets on planes. Government regulation. What do you say?
Well, you know, I think that planes are very heavily regulated because there's safety issues, too. So, you know, when I understand that the government is going to regulate something about an aircraft that might keep animals out of an aisleway, might impact safety, you know, I'm open to those things in the case of an aircraft.
No horses, no pigs, no turkeys, and
Peacocks.
absolutely no peacocks, and absolutely no snakes.
Yeah, no
A
therapy
lot
snakes.
on that one, yes,
no
we are.
therapy snakes.
You with me on this there, young man?
I will never complain about seeing a dog on a plane. I'm team, give me all the dogs. You can fill my airplane up with as many golden retriever puppies as you want.
We were doing well until the young man.
Good for you. Good for you.
Taffer, you're all right.
I stand by that.
You're all right.